There's pancakes and sausage and everything in the shed there. What kind of program are you doing? It's on our farm, but it's really the community that helps us. We have many neighbors and friends and relatives that come and help collect sap and help us boil and jar. So it's on the label of the jar. I don't know if you've seen it, but it says Carroll and Company because it's all our friends and family that help. And then on the bottom it says maple syrup from the greater GDA. It says from the GDA, which we call it the greater Downeyville area, because it's, yeah. So we have very few maple trees on our own property, right? So all of our trees are down the road here. And so, yeah, so it's all on friends' properties and relatives' properties. So.
Can you tell me a little bit about the connection at all between the Sap Social and the Bicentennial celebration?
Well, so obviously generations and generations, people have tapped trees and learned how to tap trees from the indigenous, and it just seems to fit in with 200 years of celebration. Why aren't we celebrating with something that was done 200 years ago?
And how are things going so far with the Bicentennial?
Absolutely wonderful. This is a small Irish farming community, and we all are connected. We all understand that we've been here for so many years. We celebrate every 25 years. So for us, it's normal. This is us. Leanne has a saying, Downeyville does Downeyville. There's also the underlying factor where for the children, they're supposed to be learning that in 1825, when the settlers came, they did not have access to sugar. So the indigenous people taught them tap trees, make sap into syrup, and use it for their sweetener. I don't think that we would be here if we didn't have the indigenous to teach our people, because the Irish came from a completely different climate. And so snow, like what you would see here in 1825, they had no idea about snow. And so they had to be taught how to kill the animals, how to keep, the hides to make things, to make moccasins, and to even to put a cover on their shanties to try and keep the winter out. It was, if we didn't have those people, we never would have survived. We didn't know how. So we owe what we are to them, and also to the people who came in 1823, because the people who settled in the Omemee area, they helped us. In turn, we helped the people who came to the Miller-Smith settlement in 1842.
So how do you find out what else is happening for the rest of the year in Downeyville?
We have a newsletter. We do have an event schedule, and it will be up on Facebook. It will be on the Downeyville Hall website, the church website, and word of mouth here. We're very good at word of mouth.
Don't mess with the maple.
So we're probably about halfway through the season.
Okay.
Well, it all depends on weather, of course. Yeah.
Have you collected everything, or are you still collecting?
Still collecting, yes.
Excellent.
We do about 120 tops, which is very small. Yeah, like our neighbors do 5,000 tops, and they're a small operation, so that gives you some sort of perspective. So we do about 120 tops, and if we do the whole season, we'd probably get about 120 liters of syrup. That's if the weather continues right and we have the energy to do it. Sometimes we just say that's enough and we quit early, just depending on the season, and yeah, so that's about it. So a neighbor of ours, Ron Houlihan, he tapped for, I forget, I think he was nearly 80 when he quit tapping. He just lives down the road. And he was quitting, so my wife decided that since we've got little grandchildren coming on, this would be a good experience for them, so she would apprentice with him for his last year, and that's how we get started. That would have been in about, I think that was about 2017, 2018, something like that. So we've been doing it since then.